Previously on Inspirations Really Cool.
Angela Bliss! And then there's this one. Whoa, the colors on this are just like, oh my god. Oh, sweet baby Jesus of Nazareth. Even slower on the outside, even slower, made it ticky tack. Look at that, it looks like the water's like splashing in the middle. It's awesome. Alright y'all, so it has been a full week since I painted this background, and I'll give you some close-up on it. I am pretty darn happy with how that turned out. Look at that. Of course, if you know me at all, you know that I don't think this is symmetrical enough. However, it's fine. It's fluid art. It's not gonna be perfect. My favorite part about this is, honestly, I think it's the balloon. Little motion with the balloon in the middle. I had some trouble with that. As you saw, my balloon was sliding instead of rolling. But after this dried, I just love that effect that it gave it. It gave the normal look of like a swipe or a towel pull, which is what I did. It gave it just something a little bit extra, which I really liked about it. The colors came out perfectly. Well, I think the Prussian blue maybe took over a little too much. But overall, I'm happy with it. So today we're gonna paint on the bubbles. And in Angela's video, she uses black Sharpie, black paint, and white paint, and possibly a white Sharpie. No, she doesn't use Sharpie. She uses a white acrylic paint marker.
There you go.
I do not have an acrylic paint marker. However, I do have Sharpies. So I'm going to use a black Sharpie, which is what she uses to paint the outline of her bubbles. And then she goes in with her painting the shadows, which I'm going to be using a graphite, which is mostly black, but it's a little gray. Actually, to me, it has a little bit of like a, I don't know, almost a silvery, maybe even a goldish bronze undertone to it. It's very faint, very faint. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but I really just like that color, so I figured that'll look cool with my bubbles. And instead of doing white, I'm gonna be doing gold. I really liked the little bits of gold that are in here that are popping out. I really love the bronze, but I wanted to let the bronze mostly stay in the middle. So for the bubbles, I thought some golden bubbles would be kind of cool. So I don't think I've ever seen those before. I probably have, I just forgot about it, but we're just gonna try it today. So here you go, old metallic gold right there. And then instead of the acrylic painting marker, I'm gonna be using this golden Sharpie right here. So this is actually what I use to sign our paintings all the time. So okay, I'm gonna change up the camera angles a little bit so you can see as above, so below. So you can see above shot. You got that one going on right there. And then, yeah, let's get to it. All right, let's hit play. And what she does first is she takes a cup, actually different size cups, and she draws out her circles. So I know earlier I said I was gonna use this black Sharpie right here. I changed my mind. I wanna use a gold Sharpie for my outline. Let me pause that right there. And let's draw some circles.
And let's get to work.
I want this first one right smack dab in the middle. All right, so far so good. Okay, my next one, I want to be slightly smaller, and I want the next two to actually come here, I think. Yeah, I want one there and one there. All right, let's get to it. I'm so nervous using this Sharpie because I'm like, if I mess up, you know, how do I fix that? I mean, I guess I could paint over it and kind of disguise it, but permanent markers are pretty darn permanent.
Duh.
Round and round. You spin me round and round. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Around town. All right, cool. So, actually, I like how this looks already. I could say I'm done right here and I will be totally okay, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna follow Angela's lead and make this even better. So my next two circles I want to be over here. I want them to split this line here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Made a little mistake right there. I'll leave it. It is what it is. It's not big enough to really bother me. I'll leave it there. I might put some white paint on that later. Whatever. Let's just keep going, Adrian. Let's keep going. Focus. Focus.
Focus on me. Focus on me.
All right. Sweet. That looks exactly how I want it to look so far. So what's next, Angela? Okay, now she's painting her shadows. All right. She does that by putting on her black. Then she takes some paint off her brush and she kind of blends away. And she blends, she blends, she blends. Okay, rinse and repeat. So I'll let that play. So just in case I'm confused, I'll look over there, see what I'm doing. Let me see what paintbrush to use. A little big. This one's a little chunky.
I like them big. I like them chunky.
One just a tad bit thinner. I think this will be perfect right here. All right, my table will be my paint palette today. Bloop. Oh, that graphite. I don't know if I can zoom in on that or not, but whew, I love the shine in that. So pretty. It's nice and pretty opaque. And then I'm pretty sure okay, right now she's working on the white portion, so I'll pause it there. I think she takes these about halfway around the circle. That's good enough. And she wipes off her brush, wipe, and then she blends. Blend for your life.
Blend.
For your life.
Ooh, that's blending kind of nicely. Nice. Not as good as Angela's, but good enough, I think. That's pretty good. I like that. All right, 1 down, 4 to go. So I was going to say I've never done this type of painting before. That's not completely true. I have been doing a lot of stuff with paintbrushes lately. However, it's still fairly new to me that it still feels brand new almost every time I do it. So this is quite nerve-wracking, but so far it's turning out pretty good. Might do a little bit more blending down there, but we'll keep going.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Okay, last one. All right. Oop.
And
Let me fix the edge on this one a little bit. Okay, I am very happy with those.
Oh, spoke too soon.
All right, now I'm gonna change brushes and then we're gonna go with the gold. All right, this next brush isn't quite as wide as the first one that I used, but I like that it's also angled like the first one and it's about as dense as the first one too. If it's not broke, don't fix it too much. All right, so far I can see that this gold is not the same gold as my Sharpie, but I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay. So far these kind of look like Pokeballs. Soon enough they'll look like bubbles, I think.
no, they won't.
I hope. Gotta paint them all. Pokey paint.
Pokey paint.
So I'm noticing the consistency of these paints are very different. The gold paint blends a lot better. However, it's harder to make opaque. As you can see on the edges here, they're not as opaque as the graphite was. So I don't know what it is about gold, but it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. That's okay. Okay, last one. Last one. I'm gonna add some auto tune to that. Last one. All right, I'll stop. I'll stop. I'll stop. All right, so next, Angela is actually tightening up her outlines. Oh yeah. All right. Next up, we're doing the highlights. So she draws a bit of a rectangle that's curved. She does a little triangle and a couple of dots. And she's also drawing a little white line at the bottom as well. I'm gonna do my version of this. It won't be exactly like Angela's. Whoops. I did that upside down. Oh no. All right, I'm gonna paint over that. Totally messed that up. I did it upside down. More auto-tune. Gotta laugh through the mistakes, right? Gotta laugh. Or sing, or both. That's actually mostly covering it up. Cool. Alright, so that... So this one totally looks like a Pokeball now. Alright, let's try this again.
Pokey paint.
I'm gonna try it down here first and I'll finish on that one. Alright, last one. Okay, that's it. Sweet. That's pretty cool. All right, y'all, so I am pretty happy with how this turned out. I'm gonna take you in close for a close-up, and I'm gonna show you Angela's finished product next to my finished product, and we'll see how close or how far away I got from the original. All right, so here are our finished pieces. So, first thing I noticed is Angela's bubbles look like bubbles. Mine look like Pokeballs, but it's okay. I think maybe using white probably would have been the way to go with this. However, I'm not mad at how mine looks. I really enjoy the amount of bubbles that she has on hers. I went more minimal because I wanted mine to be different, and I'm also just kind of more into like a minimal thing lately. Yeah, so the bubbles, those are the biggest difference I see. But I think for my first try at something like this, I'm pretty happy with it. The swipe in the background, wow, look at Angela's. I love how the white bleeds into the color for hers, as you can see that on the top and on the bottom. Those nice little crackles, those nice cells are just very satisfying. Mine, as you know, is a little bit more of a straight line. It's because of what I swiped with. I didn't swipe with a grid, I swiped with a paper towel, and I also even drew the line here to make it more distinct. I like that cleaner look. I love those little moments of like fuchsia, or that kind of purple magenta color that she used that are popping through there. Those are probably my favorite parts on hers. So her piece overall, I think, is phenomenal. I really enjoy mine as well. These moments of bronze are probably my favorite part. The bubbles do not look like bubbles, but they look cool. I love that they're symmetrical, and I just like the overall look that it gave it. That shine is really nice. Yeah, this is totally different for me. I definitely wouldn't have made something like this if it weren't for Angela's video. So shout out again to her. If you don't already, I mean, you probably do already, but if you haven't, go check her out. Please subscribe, like all of her videos, follow what she's doing. She's great. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.